Hello, Tarunja. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're the number one here on YouTube, and I see others on Facebook and the other platform. Thank you so much for being here. And if you were present this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime, we had to begin the transition to O Connect. So there was some kind of noise and a little disturbance because we want to make sure that we help everyone eventually because we're going to be using our platform O Connect, which is so beautiful. I really like us to use it, even though we're still going to be here for some time or maybe for a long time because there are people among us that are not on passive founders. They don't have accounts with on passive. And so we want to be here for 10 to 15 minutes, Monday through Friday, and then we transition to O Connect so that we can give the One Global Movement link to these people to sign and start enjoying the 3 free products, O-Trim, O-Mail, and O-Net, because these products are very clean, they are safe, and they are valuable the way our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufara, and the building team are building this product because they're building it with the child in mind, because they want the child to study things that are clean for their souls, their hearts, and their eyes, and it's safe for them, and it has value, not just what the other platforms are offering to our children and us. Because when a child wakes up from bed in the morning, the child is bombarded with unclean technology that is not good for them. And when they go to bed, it's the same thing. And some of these children, they start developing disorders. And we talked about that about 3 weeks ago, where we showed this video how children as young as 2, 3 years old have been so morally beaten down by the unclean technology that we have around us. So with Unpassive here and Mr. Ash Mufara, I am just so happy that we are in the best place, and we're going to make sure that our children are going to be part of Unpassive so that they will study well. They will not develop disorders or mental illness because of unclean platforms that we are using or unclean technology. So thank you so much. How are you today? Tyrone, how are you? I always like to ask that question because we wanna make sure that everyone is doing okay. And if we need to pray, we're praying for everyone. So it's always a good thing to ask because we are now here as a family put together by Mr. Ash Mufare and Unpassive. So thank you so much. I am going to start by playing our music. All right. It's always a good thing to play our international anthem, right? So let me get it out here and make sure that I'm not a very good DJ, but I'm going to try. Okay, here we go. Shining bright into the future with my side, with one heart and revolution, lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars. am the dancing queen, Nancy.
Bringing hope, shining their light. We're a nation, we are rising with one love, with one hope. Bringing solution, lifting up humanity. Let's rise high, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars. To win it, to win it, to win it.
In it to win it. In it to win it. In it to win it. Welcome, Harendra Kumar. How are you? Thank you guys so much for coming. How are you, Jody? I think you're getting better and better. If you attended the 1 p.m. session today, you saw how we were doing the transition. It was kind of a little bit noisy, but that is the way things are. It can only get better and better. And we are going to keep coming here during 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime Time to be sure that people know that we are now going to be doing O Connect 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, and to be sure that everybody transition well and understand what we are doing, because ultimately we are going to use our baby. We're going to utilize our O Connect. It's beautiful. This is what we want for the world. We want to share it with the world, so we have to use it. We cannot be sharing something that we don't use. With all these beautiful futures, it's a good thing that we're going to be using it. It's wonderful. So we're going to continue to do the transition, because we also understand that there are people among us that don't have founding member accounts in non-passive. And these are people from outside. So we want to be able to help them when they come here. We help them with the One Global Movement link to sign and to become part of unpassive under One Global Movement. So that is very, very important. And then they can just start using the 3 free products, because these are clean, safe, and valuable products. It will be a nice thing for them to start using them, right? So we're going to be sharing. And from what I heard, I've not checked the back office yet. There is going to be a very big event tomorrow. So I don't know the time, I ask that you guys check the back office and see if you know the time, then you can share it with us on our One Global Movement WhatsApp group, which or share it with other people so that we can know. But it's going to be a big event, Eyes on Africa. Very important. Eyes on Africa, even though it already started in Egypt, Eyes on Africa already started in Egypt. So it is a continuation, but this event is going to be so huge. And this is so it's going to be incredible for the whole world because Mr. Ash Mufareh on passive knows no boundaries. That means everyone is included, everyone is recognized, everyone is going to be extended the opportunity of on passive so that they can make the choice to become a member. And the way he does it is so good because for him to allow people to sign free and enjoy 3 free products, that is wonderful. That is to extend this to people so they can see and experience what we are experiencing here in On Passive and then decide to subscribe and begin to build generational wealth for themselves and their families. We are in the best shape and in the best place of our lives on passive. It takes the kind of fire that we are showing here, it takes involvement, engagement in webinars, in all of these platforms that are educating all of us. That is what it takes. So it is so important that we get engaged because the energy that you send out is exactly the amount of energy that we're going to receive. And with us in One Global Movement, because we have so much to do, to help children is not a joke and it's not easy, but it's rewarding and it's a happy thing to do. It's the noblest of jobs to do for anyone. And because Unpassive is built for children, for the future, we are here doing just that. So this is very, very important. I see my O Blessed t-shirt. Yes, we are all blessed. Unpassive has all blessed us. This is wonderful. We are in the best place because God has ordained us to be here, brought together by Mr. Ash Mufareh. So we are doing the best thing that we can do and encouraging others to join us so that while we're building our own wealth for ourselves and our families, we are also helping others to do the same. Imagine a world where everybody is self-sufficient and self-independent. Just imagine a world where no child will have to depend on anybody, because when you depend on people, the tendency is that they turn to push their own culture on you, because we don't blame them. That is what they know. That is their culture. And they want you to do according to the way they want you to do, because they own the bread and the knife, and they can slice it in any way, any shape, and any size that they want. And we just have to accept. But when we help the world to join on passive and become independent, not just financial independence, moral independence, psychological independence, economic independence, and spiritual independence. Nobody can hurt our children anymore. And this is what we are doing here. We want to make sure that we extend a hand to every child. Those that cannot, they're not able to subscribe, eventually we will subscribe, because there has to be a very good way that we're going to be doing that. Because when we take money from this account, we put it in the next account, we put it in the next account, it's a ripple effect. It's going to spread out to every child in the world. So this is very, very important. Let us keep sharing the gospel of Unpassive and One Global Movement to the rest of the world, because Unpassive is built for the future. It's built with the child in mind, number one. But most of all, Unpassive is built with the human being in mind. Build around the human being, build for the human being, because kindness, empathy, love, nurturing, determination, resilience. All of these things are things that build somebody that sits and think about all humans. And Mr. Ash Mufara is is that kind of a person with an exemplary character. Imagine if God had put this gift in him. Imagine if he did not use it. You and I would not be here. We would not be doing what we are doing. Just imagine you not sharing this gospel to the world and how the world will be. It means we are not growing one another. We grow others. Some people, we can even make them to grow more than us. When once they come in, now they know what to do. They begin to grow. We are here not to compete or to compare, but doing what is going to be good for us. Imagine again, I asked the question, just imagine a child being independent, free of exorbitant student loans. Like I have it right here. But thank God, with OnPassive, I'm going to be able to pay. So we take money from OnPassive, we invest it in all the products, build several funnels of income so that we can keep investing so that we will reach every child in the world and everybody will be self-sufficient. There will be no scammers. There will be no thieves. There will be no people that want to hurt people just because they want to take things from them. And eventually, we will be the correction to the corruption because not only government, but the way that some people are being suppressed in the world, there is injustices in the world. There is oppression, there is discrimination, even within families, even within the same tribe or the same language spoken, the same culture. So all of these things are things that Mr. Ash Mufara is going to eradicate and is going to help us with these tools to use to eradicate these things so that they don't occur anymore. Imagine a child that used to sit not knowing where the next meal is going to come from. Now they are able to eat 3 good meals a day and eat healthy meals because the parents are part of OnPassive. Imagine a child that could not go to school because the parents could not afford the tuition. And now they can do that, right? Because of OnPassive. Imagine a child that is homeless, that is abused, that is ferried across the Atlantic Ocean to be sold as a sex slave or to be sold as a housekeeper, and child labor continue to go ahead. Just imagine when all of these things are eradicated, what will happen? It will be all happiness in the world. We just give without even thinking that we are giving because giving is part and parcel of life. When you give, you receive. And now we have more than 1,000,000 reasons to give because Mr. Ash Mufara brought us together, isn't it? So thank you guys so much for being here. And we're going to start our discussion for today. We are now in the Mindset series number 54. Wow. Let's give an applause to all of us here for really, really being here for this. Mindset series number 54. And it says, expand your mind to expand your life. Expand your mind to expand your life. How would you explain this to a child or a young man that that is going through some challenges, or that thinks that things can only come from one direction and not from the other? How would you explain this? Expand your mind to expand your life. Let us begin to put our discussions here in the chat so that we can come back and we can learn from one another, because this is the real learning, not sitting in a classroom without adequate practice, or without personalizing the education to fit the student, and they're going to school. But here is OnPassive, where the child is treated as a unique child. The child is treated as an individual, not as a cohort. The child, the educational system, and the curriculum is going to be tailored to fit the child. Isn't this beautiful? I think it's very beautiful. This is amazing. This is the 21st century Ash Mufara and the 21st century OnPassive, which we are now utilizing in our own small endeavors, one global movement to reach children across the globe. So thank you so much. So expand your mind to expand your life? How would you explain this to your child or your children? How will you explain it to children of the world that are going through some challenges that they will not be able to understand? We have to put in very simple terms, but first of all, with love and doing it ourselves. We have to be able to expand our own minds. Otherwise, we cannot be telling our children to expand their minds when we are not expanding ours, right? So, we always like to start with our beautiful quote. It says, the mind is everything. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. This is by Buddha. What you think, you become. In the spirit, in the African spirit, we call it the spirit of the Ubuntu. The spirit of the Ubuntu. Because every culture, they write these quotes according to their own way. In the African culture, it's called the spirit of the Ubuntu. When you expand your mind, you expand your world. The spirit of the Ubuntu means that you are there because I am here. I am here because you are there. And we are because we all come together. That is the spirit of the Ubuntu. If you are a descendant of Africa, if you know those things, you know, because it's written all over. So we need to bring all of these cultures together, talking about these things in different ways, so that every child will have to fit into what we are doing here as educating our children to help them to build on their hopes and their dreams, build generational wealth, and live a life of leadership and purpose, while at the same time defeating hunger, illiteracy, and poverty in general. So, and I always like to do about 2 or 3 quotes. The other one says, the illiterate of the future will not be the person who cannot read. Understand this very well. The illiterate of the future is not and will not be the one that cannot read. It will be the person who does not know how to learn, who does not know how to learn. Those are the kind of people that are going to be the illiterate of the future, right? So what do? That's the reason why we are here, making sure that we are teaching these children to, first of all, have a change mindset, to know that they were born for such a time as this, such a time as the 21st century Ashmufara, that they were born for greatness, that they can change their mind in order to change their lives by expanding their horizon, to do things that maybe they felt that they couldn't do it, or maybe people put them down and said they cannot do it, or maybe they excluded them, that you don't belong to this class, you belong but to the lower class, or just maybe. But these things, first of all, have to come from us. We need to, with Unpassive here, take the tools and begin to erase all of these negative mindsets that and all these baggages that we've been carrying around us that are weighing us down morally, spiritually, and emotionally. We need to do that. When we do that, our children will begin to copy and they will do the same. No child will have to go through some kind of mental illness unless it is natural. And even when it is natural, there has to be a solution to it, always, if we believe. Yes, so, and Nelson Mandela says, education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world, right? And it is true. Education comes by what? Thinking, expanding your horizon, expanding your mindset, because everything that comes out of our mouth or everything that we see physically, it is what is already in us. And if what is inside of us is not good, what do? We expand our horizon so that we can see the possibilities that we are being surrounded with every single day. Every single day. And now we have Unpassive. We cannot even look anywhere else. We are going to look in Unpassive and take it and expand our horizon and do the things that God has called us here to do, to uplift humanity from the heart. So now, for me, I will explain it to my children or the children of the world that when somebody says expand your mind, to expand your horizon or to expand your life, It means when you expand your mind, you expand your life. This refers to the fact that the idea that by increasing your knowledge, experiences, and perspective, you open yourself up to new possibilities and opportunities, leading to a richer and more fulfilling life. You get that? Expand your mind to expand your life refers to the fact and the idea that by increasing your knowledge means continuous learning, reading books, interacting with people, asking questions, getting into nature, doing a lot of other things that will expand your horizon. Traveling is one of them. You expand your knowledge, you increase your experiences and your perspective, you open yourself up to new possibilities and opportunities, leading to a richer and more fulfilling life. What we're doing here, it's exactly the same thing. We are learning from one another. We are being positive. We are cheering one another uh, up. And then we are determined to help children of the world. We are in unpassive. That's exactly the same thing. Going to the back office and reading what we can read, learning about the products, and also attending these webinars that are meaningful to uplifting our children and families across the globe. This is where we expand our mind to expand our lives. And we have to be focused. You have to believe. You have to have the faith, the positive thinking that, you know what, I can do this. A lot of the things that I know here, for instance, within being with Unpassive, it is not things that I studied in school. I never specialized in this high technology. I didn't. But now it's like, you know what? I am getting better and better every day. This is what expanding your mind means. So that when you expand your mind, you expand your life. So now, how do you do that? Growth and learning. Growth and learning. When you seek to learn new things, when you really set out with an intention to learn new things, whether it's through education, travel, reading books, or engaging in meaningful conversations, you gain new insights and knowledge and understanding. That is why it is very good to read every day, no matter how small. You have to set a target of reading maybe 2 pages, 3 pages, or whatever, or you read a passage from the Bible. And now you go and research on that and fully understand, which is what I do every day. Because when you do that, it will give widen your horizon. You will gain more knowledge, that you will see how you've been limiting yourself for such a long time. Now you see, excuse me, the possibilities. Let me drink some water, please. Okay, thank you. Now, you see the possibilities. You see what Mr. Ashmafara is doing? Because he expanded his mind. Otherwise, who does what he's doing? Who does this kind of a monster of a revolution that he's carrying out in the world? Because he seeks out to expand his mind, to know that I can learn about why a child this young is roaming the street in tattered clothing with no shoes. What is he looking for? Looking for food or what? What can I do? Studying this child and to come out with Unpassive is one of the most incredible things that we can do as humans to other humans, right? This is very important. When you seek to learn, really learning with a passion to learn and grow, when you seek to educate yourself, and here, remember, we're not just talking about formal education anymore. The tides are changing in the world. We are no longer in the era where you are told, go to school, this is what you're going to study, come out, get a job, save money, and then build a home, make a family, and retire. We are no longer in that era anymore. I was in that era. We are no longer here in unpassive. Our children and us can go to school from kindergarten because we are adults. We can still go back and do those things from kindergarten to university, learning real knowledge, applicable knowledge, knowledge that is practical, knowledge that is meant to uplift humanity, not just any kind of knowledge that we'll get and say, oh, look at me here. I have this certificate. I am a doctor. No, it is practical knowledge, knowledge that is built upon the foundation of uplifting others. That is the kind of knowledge that we are talking about, right? So, this intellectual growth, when you read books, when you carry out meaningful conversations like what we are doing here, when you seek to build good relationship, that's the kind of education. This kind of intellectual growth can lead to a broader career or business opportunities or better relationships or and more profound personal development. You develop every day. You widening your horizon. Because when you expand your mind in this kind of productive and ethical way, then you are developing yourself for a better life. You become healthy, you become wealthy, you become happy, and you are apt to make others do the same or even better. And this starts with us so that our children can see and do the same. And when our children see, we want our children to expand in their own way, the way their own goals and their dreams appear to them in their own mind and their hearts, not the way we've pushed them to do what we want them to do. That would not be expanding our own minds and expanding the minds of our children. This is very important. So we also have new perspectives. Another factor of how you can use to expand your mind so that the child can also do the same is new perspective. Expanding your mind also means being open to different viewpoints, cultures, and experiences. How many of you know that maybe some of us too, we do it sometimes inadvertently without knowing what we are doing? How many of you know that you're not open to other viewpoints of other people? You just want your own, that what you're saying is the gospel truth. You don't even want to listen to another person. You just don't, you just go against their idea totally. How many of you know that? We know that we have some people here in Unpassive. We know, but we also know that with this kind of opportunity from Mr. Ash Mufara, we can erase all of those things. You grow better when you express your point of view and you be quiet and let another person express their own point of view as well. When you bring 2 points of view together, you guys don't have to agree, but you can carry out that discussion so that you can expand your horizon, because we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different orientations and different cultures. And we have to be able to come to that point to say, you know what? We all are different because God created us differently and put in us, instilled in us, engraved in us different gifts. And therefore, in order to grow in our own gift and endeavors, we have to be able to be willing to listen to the viewpoints of another person without being judgmental, without laughing, because why? We are all different. Very different. We have to also respect other people's cultures and beliefs and tradition without thinking or stereotyping them, thinking that our own culture is better than the other. Who says that? Your culture is better than another person's culture only when you have that high moral and ethical values and standards to know that your culture is important as well as another person's culture and way of life. This is very important. This is what our children are facing. When they go to school, they are being bullied because they are behaving differently from another person. That person doesn't know, because when you're bullied, the tendency is that children will tend to bully other children. But if we, the parents, are here to instill in them this kind of expanding our thinking, to expand our horizon. Our children will know how to deal with situations when they occur. We have to listen to people, truly listening to their viewpoints, then respecting their cultures and their life experiences. This is what makes people to grow. It doesn't matter what that life experience is. It does not matter. We need to respect that because remember, out of our storms, out of our challenges and difficulties in life, we are giving birth to strong, intelligent, determined, hardworking, loving, kind people. When you go through challenges in life, that is what happens. And so we don't need to judge other people because we don't know their state of mind when those things were happening to them. We seek to find a way to help them. At least if we don't have, we put our hands together and pray for them, right? That is very, very important. And then improve problem solving. When you expand your mind, you improve problem solving skills. And imagine a child asking a question to a teacher. That is one way of expanding their minds. Sometimes they're asking that question not because they don't know, they want that reassurance. Or sometimes they just want the perspective of the teacher or the professor so that they can add on top of their own. Remember, learning is a lifelong process. You don't stop until you exit the stage of this life. It is a lifelong learning process. And learning is good. It's good, especially for our brains. A lot of one of the best therapies for brain aneurysm is reading. If we don't know reading, or just if you don't know how to read, you take a book of pictures and continue to look because reading or looking at pictures is another form of reading, right? That is kinesthetic learning. You're learning through other ways. It's such a very important thing to encourage reading in us and our children. Reading and most of the good things in life are buried in books. If we don't open those books to read, we miss out on a lot of things. Reading, and writing. Write your family history. Write a book to keep for your children. A book of moral values and ethical standards, so that it will remain in the family for generations upon generations, and they can only add onto that, but they cannot throw away the book, right? Everybody deserves to write. You don't have to be a published author like me. You don't have to do that, but you can certainly write a book for your family, your descendants. That is what is called building true legacy. That is expanding your mind, right? Very important. So now, when you improve, when your problem solving skill is improved, your mind is so broadened, and this can help you approach challenges with creativity. You look for different ways to approach certain things that are challenging, because there's always more than a million ways to do something. And when you are faced with this and it's improving your skills, you now begin to look for other ways. What other ways can I make it better? Look at O Connect. How many times have they made O Connect, and we are the beta testers of O Connect? So many times, because there is the need to keep improving and improving and improving. And then, when you have an expanded mind, it enhances creativity and innovation in you and in our children, right? As you expose yourself to new ideas, such as this high technology, artificial intelligence, that most of us are exposing ourselves to, you become more innovative and creative. Innovations, you keep looking for new ways. What can I do? Let me read this book. Let me Google something. Let me research. Let me ask a friend. Now you become so creative in your approach, and you become so innovative to keep doing it. Do you know how fired I am with this unpassive and artificial intelligence, this high technology? I want to know everything. I want to know, so that I can be able to expand my horizon. I can be able to expand that of my family and my children, and therefore do the same to children of the world. That is how fired I am. So ultimately, by expanding your mind, you can expand your life by enriching your experiences, finding new opportunities, and becoming more adaptable to change. So, what are some of the ways? There are so many ways that we can teach our children, we can help them to expand their minds that will benefit them. A million, a billion, really like an ocean of ways that we can use to help our children. We already said that reading books, good books, not just any kind of books, because you have to know what you're reading. And for me, number one is the greatest book of wisdom, because all of what we are doing and saying, it's already in there. And we can begin with that by reading it together with our children and our families, our spouses. We can expand our mind so that our life can get better. And we talk about learning new skills. Always don't be afraid to learn a new skill. Don't shy away from new things and you stay in your comfort zone. No, get out of your comfort zone, because there are always new things. Create good, meaningful relationship so that you can converse new things with people and you can learn new things. Like we are doing here. This is new relationships we are doing here. We are already doing it, and we are in a better place because of Unpassive, right? And then children, we can teach ourselves and our children to participate in curricular activities. Extracurricular activities like sports, like drama, like participating in memory verses in the church, or debate clubs, like good debate, not those debates that they are cussing out people and be calling people bad names that are not okay, or robotics, building, encourage teamwork, leadership positions, and problem solving skills. These are some of the ways that they can utilize to really expand their mind. We know that our children in school, they have group projects. That is good, because now this child will bring their own way of doing things or building, contributing to that project. And now teamwork now teaches each and everyone, like we are doing here. This is family. This is one global movement village. We are teaching each other and cheering each other on. In the end, we now expand our horizon, our mind. Now we know how to help these children in the world without any difficulties. Isn't that beautiful? I think this is one of the most beautiful things to do, and not going to sit for an exam when you don't even know the state of the mind of that child, or competing and comparing. Look, my son is an A student, is an A grade child. No, no, nobody is an A, because when these children were sitting for that exam, you did not know if that child ate, or you did not know if that child is homesick. You did not know the mental state of that child. You did not know. We're just saying, go sit for the exam, suck it up and go sit for the exam without knowing the state of that child. So with Unpassive now, those things are going to be there. And this will expand our minds and expand the minds of our families and our children. And so children can get engaged with science and technology. And we know that for me, math was difficult for me, maybe because I heard that it was difficult and I internalized that, and I did not do well with math, but I did well with other things, right? In cases like this, when we get engaged in doing things, we can learn from one another, experimenting with science kits. Like we can buy, like if we have before we even have our baby, we already bought things for that baby that they will start playing with when they start learning how to touch toys, right? We buy numbers, we buy letters of the alphabet, we buy these toy books that sing or say the letters of the alphabet. If you're like me, if you're from Cameroon in the village, my mother went into the bush and my grandmother and cut the counting sticks, but they worked. These are natural things. They worked. So this is so important. Exploring computer programming can develop logical thinking and creativity in our children. This is very important. And then we can also get them engaged in practicing mindfulness and meditation, really focusing in the moment, right now. Sometimes doing it through deep breathing, like breathing it, you hold it for 5 seconds or however long you can do it and breathe it out. That is mindfulness. You are focusing on you in the moment, in the present, to see what it can do for you. This is a great way of helping our children to expand their minds. These practices can help our young people develop the sense of focus, reduce stress, and improve emotional intelligence, right? And then volunteerism is a very good thing. Volunteering and community services. You see, Obless, we're going to be volunteering in donating money to Obless so that Obless can help to fund hunger. Children that are hungry, we can send food there. Or in disaster zone, natural disaster zone, or in war-torn zone, the crazy wars, or whatever, in climate changes that plague people's lives. This is what Obless is going to be doing. So this is volunteerism. If you're going to withdraw money from your wallet, what are you going to do? You're going to leave some money there, or you're just going to withdraw everything? For me, I'm going to leave some money there, even more than what, if they say $1, 1.4 million, just say a month. That is, for me, we can do better than that. Leave 5, 10, 15. Why not $100? Why not even for me 1 million? If that money is there, I give it there, because this is where we are because of Unpassive and Mr. Ashmufare. Very important. And this is what is going to help us to reach every child by giving. Because when you give, you create a vacuum within you to let God know that you have a good heart and you continue to give. That is one way of expanding your horizon. Volunteerism and community services. And then we explore creative outlets, activities like drawing, writing, photography, or filmmaking. Encourage self-expression and imagination. Even a game table. You can formulate family games, because these kids are very knowledgeable. They're very smart. Their brains are ticking like the clock. Tick, 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 tick. They need to utilize that. We can bring these kids together. We say, hey, let us build our own family games that we can come together, build by us instead of just buying it from the store, right? We build it because they can do it. My son has built some games that we play together. Some of them I don't know how to play, but he will teach me, and we should be willing to learn and listen to them, because that is one way that they can expand their horizon, by knowing that my parents are listening to me, right? So we can do that. And then this will encourage self-expression and imagination. So solving puzzles and playing games, we just talk about that. We can buy puzzles, or if children can build, they can build puzzles. And if we cannot build, we buy them. I have been working on tiny puzzles. Sometimes it's so difficult, but I learned to do it again and again. It is really expanding the way you think and the way you implement things. And then participating in educational programs and workshops, whether it is a science camp, a writing workshop, or a leadership training program. Structured educational experiences can be both enriching and enjoyable. Very. Whether it is even going to your local library to read to the young kids that come there, because there are programs in local libraries. I've been there, and we volunteered to read, because I used to take my son there too. They were reading to my son. And now we have to, it's our own turn to also do the same. In the future, we from One Global Movement, when we visit communities around the world, we want to make sure that we implement this spirit of reading to children. We encourage going to the libraries, and maybe we can even introduce reading programs in certain areas where there are none, because people don't know. And so we begin, because life, the way God made life, is so simple. We don't complicate things. When we don't take it simple and be grateful for it, that is when we start complicating things for ourselves, thinking that, oh, it's so difficult. This thing is so difficult, I cannot do it. No. Life is simple by us coming together and communing with one another to see what we can do to better the world and make the world a better place for our children and every family. So important. We can engage in open conversations. Like when we are on the panel here on the show, we are doing the show, the panelists are here. Now it's only me. I'm waiting for Nancy to get better and join me again. You know, and now somebody talks, the other person says this, and then we counteract and we comment on the other person. This is the way of engaging in a conversation and debates. Encourage discussion of various topics to foster critical thinking, listening skills, and confidence in expressing ideas. This topic right now, children can go and watch it on YouTube, but we can also coin it in the way you understand your children and your family, you know. And we say, hello guys, now, or we can do it in the form of like a ballot. You write questions and you throw it in a basket, and every time we come together as a family and we pick one question out, we open it. Everybody has to take a turn to do that. They open the questions and they read it loud, and the person that picks that maybe will start contributing. But if they don't know, then the parents can start something. You will realize that all of what we are talking about, we know it within ourselves, but we have not have that courage to discuss this thing because we have not really taken the time to draw these programs with children, right? This is very important. All of these things that I'm saying, a lot of the things I practice them because the way my grandmother brought me up was so different. And so I practice these things. And then my son to now put me on the hot seat and will be questioning me. And so we go back and forth and then we discuss it. This is engaging and very uplifting to our children. Now they learn to express themselves without being shy, or when somebody shut them down not to express themselves, they will know what to do. This is what we are teaching. And then building strong relationship and social skills is exactly what we are doing here. And then creating art and the craft projects, maybe like earrings from beads. I asked for those beads to be sent from natural ones from the bush, very beautiful, to send them here so that I can do my beads again. I did it before in a group setting. So little things, a lot of the things we can learn them together with our children. And this will be so great. We are expanding our mind. When you expand the mind of a child, they are apt to be so brilliant and they want to share this with other people, So, and they'll be apt to listen to other people, their viewpoints, because we are expanding their mind. Imagine I expand the minds of my son, you expand the minds of your own son or your daughter, they come together. Do you know that they'll be so great? They'll be so great. So we develop a growth mindset. This will be the last point. Develop a growth mindset. Encouraging children to embrace challenges, not just crying about them or complaining. Learn from failures to know that failure is part of growth, and persist even in the face of adversity will build in them resilience. And to help them develop this kind of resilience and a positive outlook to life, a positive attitude towards learning and to continue to learn and grow. Remember, our attitude is our altitude. The way we behave towards others, whether it is their culture, their way of dressing, the way they talk, the way they eat, their background, their bank account, it is exactly how we are going to grow ourselves. Our attitudes are our altitudes. And here in Unpassy, we have seen the tremendous attitude of Mr. Ash Mufari, right? We have seen it. And this is the kind of growth and developing mindset that we want to be able to instill in ourselves and also instill in our children. So thank you guys so much. And remember, tomorrow we're going to be here at 1, and then we transition 15 minutes into StreamYard, we go over to O Connect, okay? And we're going to do that for a long time. And that might even just be perfect because this will be one of the ways that when we invite people from outside to watch One Global Movement show, or to come and talk with us, then they can just sign up and we'll be putting the link here pretty soon. So thank you so much. Even the QR code, we're going to do the graphics and put all the QR codes so that when they are watching, they are here with us, they can see the QR code for One Global Movement and they will just scan it. And there we go. We start building monuments for children in the world because we have a lot of work to do and we need a lot of resources. So we build this. I have an account, my personal account. I forgot about that one for right now. This one is the most important because children are starving. They are dying of hunger. They are not going to school. They are being raped. A lot of things are happening to our children. And they are homeless. They are begging on the street. They don't have the appropriate clothing to wear for the weather. So we are here. This is what I would do. So thank you so much. Hello, Tarun. Thank you so much for being here. You were the first person here. Thank you so much. So let us spread the message out that we're going to be here in StreamYard, and then we want to make sure that everybody start utilizing O Connect well. And as we go along, we're going to be practicing the futures and making sure that we get everything. Because when those apples are here, we don't do that, it's going to be difficult for us to do it. So thank you so much, Sharon. And Nancy, hello, the dancing queen. How are you? How are you feeling today? Thank you so much for attending O Connect today. We highly appreciate that. And thank you for your contribution. And we have Harendra Kumar. How are you? If this is your first time here, you're welcome here. We thank you so much. We are here building this platform for children to reach every child in the world. Encourage your families, friends, and young people to be here. Young people are allowed to be here. We are doing this for them. And thank you so much. Come again. We go twice a day at 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime Time and at 8 p.m. right now that we are almost going to be done. So feel free to come, spread the word, share, subscribe, and put the big thumbs up so that YouTube would know that we are doing something wonderful for children and they can continue to help us to do that. Thank you so much for being here with us. And I love your T-shirt, Dr. Mundih. Yes, Brother Smart gave me this, so I like to wear it. If I remember, I like to wear it so we know that this is on passive. We're going to design our own, but I want to get permission. And when the resources come in, we're going to design O Bless and O Academy. And we make sure we put the two logos there for One Global Movement. We don't sell them because we are not allowed to do this. This is just to promote our company and the mission and vision of Mr. Ash Mufara and On Passive. Thank you so much. Hello, Kuma. Welcome to hashtag One Global Movement. There we go. We start welcoming everyone here. And he says, okay, I think this is in Hindi. Thank you so much, sir. I wish I can have that app to translate this and to know what you're saying. But if you are here, I know that you are here for good. You are here with a good heart for the children. Thank you so much. Pretty soon we'll start learning how to speak Hindi too, as well, right? Yes, we're gonna do that. Thank you so much for being here. And again, he's writing in Hindi. Thank you so much, sir. We will learn to translate this because hey, Mr. Ashman Father is going to come up with so many apps that it will not be difficult to learn any language anymore, right? Thank you so much. And the world is going to be a beautiful place to live with On Passive. Yes, it's already getting beautiful from us, right? And we are lucky to be the founders. Thank you. Hello, DS Nayak. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for being here. And remember, we will be on StreamYard 10 to 15 minutes. We move to O Connect every day until we realize that we must have really initiated people on O Connect well, and the people that are coming from outside have been signed in to enjoy our 3 free products. Hello, Margaret. Oh, she says present. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And expand your mind, expand your life is to embrace new ideas, challenges, actively learning from diverse experiences. You will be able to regain a perspective of a life bigger than you. Isn't this amazing? Very, very amazing. It is amazing. Yep, it is. Thank you. And Soprana, how are you? Thank you so much for being here with us today. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., we're going to be on StreamYard and YouTube, and then we will transition to O Connect, and we're going to be doing that every day, Monday through Friday. Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. Please don't, evening from our end, I know that it is morning in India. Please don't forget to press the big thumbs up, subscribe, and share with family and friends. Yes, and encourage people, bring one, bring two. We want to make sure that the Gospel of One Global Movement gets into every household while changing the life of every child. Hi, Supana, Margaret, and everyone here. Dear Naya Kuma, it's a pleasure to have you here with us in One Global Movement, where we speak with heart regarding our children. Yes, thank you so much, Nancy. You're so beautiful when you do that. As a reminder, family, we are transitioning to O Connect for the 1 p.m. session, Monday through Friday, but our 8 p.m. session remains on YouTube. Yes, yes, exactly. So thank you so much for making that announcement. We had no toys. We made our own. Let's teach our kids to be more innovative. Yes, this is what I'm talking about, Margaret. The counting sticks. I didn't have no toys. We had the baby from the plantain. When the this is very beautiful. When the plantain is grown, it is ready to be harvested. We are fighting to go get the babies, or we do something, and then we'll be carrying the baby on our back and holding the baby and nurturing the baby. We did things. The counting sticks. We didn't have no toy. Those are the toys. We have them. We didn't go to the market to buy them. We created them. This is what we are talking about for our children. Thank you so much for really bringing that idea here, Margaret. Thank you. And hashtag Ashim Farah, hashtag Unpassive, hashtag Dr. Mundih, hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Nancy says hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag love each other. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. Our sister Sharon Balihu Pushpin Media is here. Thank you so much, Sharon, for what you're doing. I know that you're busy. It's good to be busy so that you can make some money and make some apples, and so that we can eat and also feed the children. So I just got home from work. How are you doing, Sister Dr. Mundi? Well, hashtag One Global Movement. We are doing wonderful. Thank you so much. And I also ask you, because you're doing a lot, but I want you to focus on you and the business. And if you have time before you create those graphics, I have a lot of graphics to keep posting. She is doing a wonderful job, guys. She's very innovative, very creative, and she comes out with these wonderful ideas. Before you know, she puts it into a graphic and send it over to me, and I just get to post, and people will see. They'll be like, "Oh, she knows how to do this thing." Not me. It's Sharon. You need to thank her for doing that. She's the one doing it. Okay, Harendra, thank you so much again. Very good, ma'am. Okay, now you're speaking English. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. That's very good too for you. Thank you so much. And hello, everyone from Sharon and Harendra Kumar says, okay, sir. Thank you. Come again. This is how we're going to interact, communication, interaction with one another. Eventually, we will understand one another and we begin to speak one another's language. English language is a universal language. Now we begin to learn. So thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I highly appreciate the work that you're doing for Unpassive and One Global Movement. Let us continue. Remember, tomorrow, it's Eyes on Africa. We know that eyes were already on Africa through Egypt, but now it's even a bigger eyes on Africa. So I think people estimate that it's going to be so huge that it's going to be about 10,000 or more people signing in. So tomorrow, I already left a message for Mr. Raj so that we do not uh, waste time at all. If we can take 30 minutes or less, and then we will move over. But I urge people to sign in before because I think it's going to take place at 2 p.m. Eastern Daytime, right? And we are starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime. So if you have two gadgets, please sign in on one and just stand by. And if you don't, we're going to want to make sure that we close tomorrow very early. So 15 minutes on StreamYard, on YouTube, and then about 15 or 20 minutes there. And then we want to make sure that we are present to see this evolution, uh, this revolution and transformation that is going through the world. I don't want to say evolution. Evolution is not like what we are seeing here with Mr. Ashmufara. We are in a revolution. So thank you guys so much. And always remember to stay focused, stay encouraged, stay empowered, and always believe in endless possibilities. I love you all and see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime, first on YouTube, and then we transition to O Connect. Bye bye now. Thank you guys so much.